Hey Paul, how often do you lay your wood chips down?
These just got put here last year, but up there where you see how bare it is, I haven't put wood chips there for 14 years.
Wow. So what, do you have a cycle? Do you do it every 5 years?
Oh, I do it out of convenience. Right now I need to do it. And it was so cool, I placed over in Squim with the tree service and bringing me wood chips for free for years. I hadn't had him because the film came out and he's getting $100 a load.
Oh, yeah.
Can I tell you something? I'm giving this as a testament. I want you to get the Creator's good. So I says, God, I need to get wood chips in my orchard this winter. He just brought me like 8 major 10 loads. I'm places loaded. I have such a, the last couple weeks, 8 loads. You know, because I pray. So sometimes if you need wood chips, just pray. The Creator knows what you need. He's good. He has access to everybody, and He can move on your benefit. But I want you to notice somebody with their hand. I want you to, he's down there. With your hand, start moving these wood chips. Start digging a hole.
You me?
Yeah.
Oh, me. Okay.
I thought he was, he's not connected.
Right here?
Yeah.
It looks nice.
You see how easy that moves?
Yeah.
You see how moist it is down there? And so this has been, you know, a summer with no rain. And pick up that stuff and smell it.
Polyurethane.
It's the odor of minerals. If you go to farms that raise your food and you smell their dirt, it has no odor because there's no minerals present. And you look at how beautiful and soft it is. You just know intuitively in your spirit there's nothing you couldn't grow in that.
Yeah.
So
And the
how
beauty
deep
is,
this?
this is 14 years ago, 16 inches deep, but I haven't done anything since.
Okay.
You know, but what I'm trying to get is that you could never make anything that nice with all your tilling and mixing and messing with. And if you just lay it in the ground and go away, this is what it becomes. It's awesome. I mean, you can't improve on nature. It's awesome.
You haven't watered here at all.
This orchard has not been watered or fertilized for 35 years.
That's amazing.
Ever.
You can feel moisture.
Yeah, and look at the trees. Look at the trees, the color of the foliage.
Did you had rain here lately?
Yeah, we had a nice rain a couple days ago. I guess Wednesday.
This charcoal you have, is this on purpose?
It's intentional. I'm so glad you asked. Thank you. Let me tell you about charcoal. Charcoal is the most mineral-rich substance that exists on planet Earth. Dr. What's his name?
Nicola?
Not Nicola. The guy who did Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Remember that? Yeah, was an amazing. He's a veterinarian, and the government gave him a $30 million grant in the 80s to study the importance of minerals on human health. $30 million in the 80s was a huge amount of money. I mean, a lot. You know, that was a lot then, but nothing compared to what it was then. This guy traveled all over the world studying cultures of people who lived over 100 years, 120, 130 in really good health. He found they had 3 things in common. The first is they had no electricity. The second is they grew all their own food, and the third was huge. They all cooked their food with wood heat, and they heated themselves with wood, and they put the ashes back in their gardens. He found that wood ashes has the highest mineral content of anything that exists on the earth. As soon as he said this, the Holy Spirit gave me a prompting. We were in Yellowstone Park when that fire happened with my family. We watched it start. And when Yellowstone burned, they thought it would take decades for that ever to grow back. The second year is like a fire never happened. Everything was back, totally lush green. And God told me was, when fire goes through material, everything except minerals are consumed. Minerals are not flammable. They don't burn. Minerals do not burn. And so wood ashes is the most mineral-rich substance you can have. You see what I think is awesome? These cultures who had never been to school, who are living over 100 years, knew intuitively, put the ashes back in your garden. No one told them that. They just knew. And see, fortunately, I heat my house with nothing but, and I've always taken my wood ashes, put back in my garden or in my chicken pen for my chickens, and all goes back in my garden. Can I tell you some of the numbers? This is huge. There's a scientific agency in Montana who developed the whole bricks testing of soils, minerals, and they developed the refractometer. The owner of that company saw the film. He says, "I'd like to test that guy's soil." So send a guy from Seattle out here to take a sample of my soil. Here's some of the numbers. When you get the paper back, you have 2 columns: the desired level and then lab results. The desired level of nitrogen is 40. Mine was 120. Desired level of phosphorus was 174. Mine was 2,356.
Wow.
Desired level of phosphorus or potassium, 167, mine's 1154. Coming down to the smaller numbers, desired level of zinc, 1 to 6, mine's 21.5. And I did nothing. I added no minerals. I just put wood chips, ashes, and this is why my food tastes so good. It's the high mineral content. It's awesome. It's just incredible. You know what I thought was so cool? You know what I was low on? Was sodium. Who wants sodium in their soil? That's salt. I thought, awesome, God, I love you. You know, the guy flat out says, you know, everything's very high, sodium very low. And I'm thinking, in the natural order, that's perfect. Salt kills things. Ever notice on seashores nothing grows? You don't want sodium in your food, in your soil. Like, yay, God, man, he does it perfect.
Was that Dr. Wallach? Is that his name?
It's John somebody. I can't think of his last name. John. Oh, Warwick. Warwick. Yeah, the guy who. Yeah, he got his name. You're right. Yeah, Joel Warwick. Yeah, he wrote that book. He wrote a book, The Age Beaters and their Longevity, and their Secret to Longevity. It was just a phenomenal book, and he said wood ashes is the most mineral-rich substance on the planet. Now, observe these kids. See, no one's telling them to do this. They're naturally inclined to having fun, and look where they're at. You see, when you have a garden that's right, kids want to hang out there. God put us in the garden up front for family, to have enjoyment. And they wouldn't be doing this in your garden with all that funky hard dirt, but this is a pleasant place to be there. Look at them, just having a ball. Because this is how it's designed. We're supposed to be connected to the earth. See, they're grounded. They're getting their hands on this. They're getting this major energy off the earth. It's just powerful. And they're intuitively getting it. No one's telling them. I want you to observe this. This is something you need to pay attention to. This is showing you this is an attractive. They're naturally drawn to this stuff because it's live, living, life-giving. Well, they wouldn't do this in your nasty old till rotten garden.
Well, tell them about that letter you got. The woman who was down in New Orleans with the hurricane.
This poor lady, she lost two houses. Two houses were wiped out by hurricane, and salt water covered her yard twice, destroying all her fruit trees, all her garden. And she's just determined to stay there. She's now living on a house on pilings. But she says, she saw my film, she's very frustrated because, man, she's going to plant and stuff's not growing, you know. The last line in the letter was, I have the best garden I've ever had in my life. She put wood chips back, and she had pictures, and she says, I grow eggplant, and it never gets any higher than my knee. I have eggplant now under my armpit. And we're talking like a place that was covered with salt water twice, and now with a wood chip covering is totally better than it's ever been. You know what I love about God? He's so redemptive. That's his nature. There's nothing outside his ability to redeem. I don't care what you do to it. When you put the covering, it's naturally designed to recover and make everything right because it's house-made. And it was just so awesome, her letter, because she's just, here you're talking about something that was like, you couldn't make it harder. And this thing has been totally transformed into something she's never had. And it's just like, it's awesome. And again, you see the nature of God, he's redemptive, and everything about nature is showing that characteristic. I don't care what you do, if you put a covering, it'll clean it up. You know, it's phenomenal.
When I make a bowl out of this,
it won't stay together, will it? Is that a bummer?
When I put glue my hand out flat, it falls apart.
And when you pick up dirt, it doesn't. Right. Are you getting this? See, this kid can't make a ball out of my soil. You can with dirt because it's compacted, no air. This is something you cannot compact. True. It's impossible to compact. I love that. See, the whole idea of soil preparation in a covering is completely unnecessary. You can't compact this stuff. You can drive a truck on this, it won't compact. So you can plant anytime, anywhere, and you never have to prepare soil, ever. We're going to do a demonstration with a garden. I'm going to show you how powerful it is.
With your wood chips, you try to keep any green matter out.
What do you mean by green matter?
So like like cities, they go and trim sides of roads, and you get tons, mostly leaves inside the wood chips.
Leaves are the best. You want leaves. He's asking about leaves. You see, if you buy bark, which you pay money for, nothing grows in it. You got to fertilize. Are you following me? If you use sawdust, no green, nothing grows in it. In wood chips, which is mostly needles and leaves, the green, everything grows in it. The green is what you want. That's the ideal.
Because it helps break down the wood chips?
The green immediately turns back to soil, and see the wood chips laying on top support all that life underneath. They don't break down quickly, but they cover and support the life. But immediately the green turns back into live food. And again, you just track what you see as in nature. As the plants took out of the ground minerals to create needles and leaves, the Creator puts it back every fall to replace and balance what was taken out. It's all returned. Everything's in total order. It's all replaced. Where we come in and we rake the leaves off and haul it all off and wonder why our plants are yellow. You know, again, everything's telling us what we're doing is not working. Excuse me? And we keep doing it. It's stupid. Cultivation has destroyed the planet. We've lost. If you fly across, we came to this country 200 years ago plus. These First Nation people had such respect for the earth, they never left a footprint on the ground. And in the Midwest, there was 12 feet of incredible topsoil. Today, there isn't 8 inches. It's all blown and washed away. And if you ever fly across the U.S. in the wintertime, you look down at the ground, it looks like a broken, parched desert. It's pathetic. And that used to be 12 feet of topsoil. And they're still tilling, they're still cultivating. This doesn't work, we're losing all our soil, and they don't get it. I'm telling you, man, it's scary. It's scary because it makes no sense. All the evidence says we're failing, and they're committed to keep doing it. It's huge.
That's one of the things that I've noticed that now that I'm living over in eastern Washington, when the wind blows, just all this dirt goes with it. Everybody's losing their ground because they're not covered.
Topsoil. And it takes, can I tell you something scary, interesting? Scary, interesting. It takes 100 years in nature to create 1 inch of topsoil. 100 years to make an inch. Whoa. And I feel so blown out and so blessed here that I've got major inches of topsoil all over my place because I'm hauling stuff in by mass, and I'm really gaining ground here. I am speeding up the process huge. I'm thinking like, yay God, it's awesome.
What about if you don't have chickens?
Then take all your yard waste and the stuff you don't want,
Produce.
and pull your woodchips back, lay on the ground, and cover it. Don't ever have a compost bin because that's a waste of your time and you lose all the good nutrients in the ground where you don't want it. So always put back where it's going to end up and get out of the way. Nature very effectively breaks it down.
Cover it with the wood chips, you said?
Yeah, so you don't have to look at it.
Right.
Because it's ugly.
Or smell it, too.
Or smell it.